Hi, I'm a Sand Recap and this is a movie to get. Avatar, The Way of Water. On the extrasolar moon Pandora, Jake Sully lives with his new family. Jake will need to work with Neytiri and the army of the 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸 race to defend their home once a familiar threat returns to finish what was started. The story of Jake Sully's life since joining the 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸 and becoming chief of the 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐿 clan begins on Pandora. 𝐿𝐷𝐼𝐸, 𝐿𝐴𝐾, and 𝐷𝐶 are the children he and Neytiri have had together, as is 𝐿𝐴𝐾, an adopted daughter who was the biological daughter of Grace Augustine's 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸's avatar, Spider. A human boy who was left behind with the human scientists after the previous group evacuated Pandora because babies couldn't be put into cryostasis, is also seen by the children. Neytiri believes that the boy would do better with other humans, in part due to her own hatred of the Sky People, even though the children regard Spider as something of a cousin. Jake's happiness is quickly shattered when shuttles of RDA ships begin to descend upon Pandora, destroying a significant portion of the forest and killing the wildlife. Despite the fact that everything appears to be blissful, Jake and Neytiri save their children as well as the other 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸s, but Jake is holding his wife as they look on in horror at the devastation that has been left behind. Colonel Miles 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 wakes up resurrected in his own avatar body 1 year later. 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 quickly realizes what happened after watching a video log he left himself before their previous attempt to tear down the 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸's Tree of Souls before he and his team were all killed while he attacks his former teammates, all of whom are now wearing their own 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸's skins. 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 decides to lead a team back onto Pandora with a single objective after gathering their new weapons, executing Jake. The RDA has established a mining base and a settlement known as Bridgehead City on Pandora. Jake leads a number of 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸s to attack the humans' aircraft and supply lines with their 𝐒𝐚𝐻, 𝐿𝐴𝐾, and 𝐁𝐷𝐼𝐸 attempt to join the fight, nearly injuring themselves severely. Jake rescues them and reprimands them for putting themselves in danger. Together with the rest of the clan, the group returns to their camp. Neytiri and Jake talk about how these changes are affecting their children's lives. Spider, on the other hand, goes with 𝐿𝐴𝐾 and 𝐁𝐴𝐝 to the human research facility, where Norm Spellman and Max Patel are still working, while Grace's body is in the tank. 𝐁𝐴𝐝 talks to her avatar. Spider then makes the observation that his 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸's friends at least know their parents, whereas he is aware of and resentful of 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬, his father. When 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 and his team get to their base, they meet General Francis Ardmore, who gives him an update on their activities since he died. Before he tells them how they can gain their own advantage, Ardmore explains the advantages the 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐿 have over them. The group enters the forest at the same time that Spider and Jake's kids are playing. The other children observe 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 and his team as they search the former Link unit for humans and their avatars while 𝐁𝐴𝐝 immerses herself in nature. Inside the amp suit where he was killed, he discovers his skeleton. When the bad guys find the kids, they notice that they have 5 fingers, so they know they are Jake's kids. When 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 meets Spider, he learns that he is the father of the boy. While he holds the other kids hostage, 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 summons Ardmore and her team to the scene. When Jake and Neytiri learn of the situation, they are stunned to discover that their foe is still alive and in a 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸's body. Before 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬's team fires, Neytiri kills some of them. She and Jake are successful in reuniting their children, but 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 and his remaining teammates return, bringing Spider with them. 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 stops Ardmore from torturing the boy to get him to reveal information about the clan's location, opting instead to try to get closer to Spider to gain his trust. He persuades Spider to accompany him on their journey, or else the scientists will use him for experiments. Jake tells Neytiri that the clan must leave because they are being targeted. Jake reassures Neytiri that it is best for their children and the rest of the clan. Despite the fact that she does not want to leave her house, he leaves the clan with Neytiri and their children and hands over leadership to Tarsem, another warrior. They take off in their 𝐒𝐚𝐻 and make their way to the 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐿 clan of 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸's home on the eastern seaboard. Jake asks for shelter for the sake of his family as the clan gathers with their leader, Tonowari, and his pregnant wife, Ronald. Ronald and the other tribesmen are quick to look down on Jake and his kids because they are half-human and could bring their dangers to this land. However, Tonowari approves of the 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬𝐻's accomplishments and allows them to remain, and also instructs 𝐴𝐚𝐝 and 𝐒𝐴𝐝, his children, to demonstrate to Jake's children how to adapt to their oceanic surroundings. Spider is used as a translator for the 𝐒𝐚𝐼𝐸's language that 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬 and his team are still trying to learn as they guide Spider through the forest. 𝐒𝐲𝐽𝐬𝐬𝐻 also forms a stronger connection to his own 𝐒𝐚𝐻 than the 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐿 did. Jake's kids go snorkeling with 𝐴𝐚𝐝, and 𝐴𝐚𝐝's friend Ratso. 𝐒𝐴𝐝 demonstrates that they use sign language to communicate with underwater creatures and that they are connected to them in the same way that 𝐒𝐚𝐝 are connected to their animals. However, 𝐿𝐴𝐾 is quickly pulled through the water and thrown off when he tries to connect with a creature. In the meantime, 𝐁𝐴𝐝 helps one of the creatures interact with 𝐸𝐞, because she has a more natural connection with them. The 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐬, which has the ability to move both underwater and in the air, is shown to 𝐒𝐸𝐽 and Neytiri how to fly it. 𝐒𝐲𝐬𝐽 gets closer to 𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐞, who demonstrates to him how to improve his underwater breathing. Additionally, he uses creatures that provide them with air when they lie on their backs to take him and his sisters deeper underwater. However, 𝐒𝐲𝐽 punches 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸 in the face because 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸 and 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸 dislike Kiri because they think she is a half-breed. 𝐒𝐸𝐽 scolds his sons for their behavior after Neytiri and 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸's friends join the fight. 𝐒𝐲𝐽 is forced to apologize to 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸 by 𝐒𝐸𝐽. 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸 then invites 𝐒𝐲𝐽 to go hunting with him and his friends. After he does so, they go far enough to fool 𝐒𝐲𝐽 into going after a creature before an 𝐒𝐲𝐽 attacks him and his creature and kills 𝐒𝐲𝐽's mount before chasing him. 𝐒𝐲𝐽 tries to swim back up before he runs out of breath, but the 𝐒𝐲𝐽 try to kill him, and 𝐼𝐴𝐼𝐾𝐻, a tulkun who looks like a whale, saves him. Following 𝐼𝐴𝐼𝐾𝐻, 𝐒𝐲𝐽 discovers a harpoon lodged in his fin and removes it, earning 𝐼𝐴𝐼𝐾𝐻's trust. 𝐒𝐸𝐽 talks to Kiri, who has been experiencing altered feelings lately as a result of what she has been seeing. She asserts that she can feel their goddess 𝐼�A's powerful heartbeat. She is reassured by 𝐒𝐸𝐽 that she is unharmed. Tanawari scolds 𝐒𝐲𝐽 for leading him beyond the reef when it is forbidden, but 𝐒𝐲𝐽 takes the blame to keep 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸 from getting into trouble when he returns. 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐸 develops respect for 𝐒𝐲𝐽 despite 𝐒𝐸𝐽 telling him that his actions have embarrassed the family. 𝐒𝐲𝐽 recounts his encounter with 𝐼𝐴𝐼𝐾𝐻 to his siblings, 𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐻, and the other 𝐒𝐚𝐝𝐻, but 𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐻 informs 𝐒𝐲𝐽 that 𝐒𝐴𝐻 is regarded as an outcast among the other tulkun. 𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐻 takes the others to the cove of their ancestors and shows them how the land looks during the eclipse. After 𝐒𝐲𝐽 tries to talk to 𝐼𝐴𝐻 about his history, she also leads them to the 𝐒𝐻𝐼𝐻 tree of souls underwater. Grace can be seen by Kiri and communicated with when she connects to the tree. However, Kiri's siblings bring her back to the shore after she quickly has a terrible seizure. 𝐸𝐽 convinces Norm and Max to try to help Kiri, but until Ronald tries her hand and is able to revive her, they are of no use. 𝐸𝐽 is informed by Norm that frontal lobe epilepsy might be the cause of any vision she thinks she is seeing. Sadly, 𝐼𝐴𝐻𝐿, 𝐒𝐲𝐻's teammate, informs him of a radar that was picked up by the gunship that Norm and Max entered on. Since they are already hunting tulkun for anti-aging remedies, the villains then meet up with a whaling vessel led by Captain 𝐒𝐲𝐧𝐫𝐞 and Dr. Ian Garvin to give them a bigger advantage. The 𝐒𝐻𝐼𝐻 are inseparable from their tulkun, which include Ronald and Roa, her soul sister. 𝐒𝐲𝐻 and his crew arrive quickly. They kill a tulkun mercilessly and threaten a 𝐒𝐻𝐼𝐻 woman unless they reveal where 𝐸𝐽 and his family are. Spider tries to persuade his father to stop because he is horrified. The criminals then begin to demolish their homes and trees. To attract 𝐸𝐽's attention, 𝐒𝐲𝐻 orders his team to attack. 𝐒𝐲𝐽 tries to find out from 𝐼𝐴𝐻 what made him an outcast once more. 𝐼𝐴𝐻 lets 𝐒𝐲𝐽 enter him and connect with him. Neytiri saves his siblings and friends from the fighting, but he is killed. The family reaches a rock and tries to assist Neytiri, but he succumbs to his injuries. The rest of the family is devastated by Neytiri's desperation over her son's death. 𝐒𝐲𝐻 gets in touch with 𝐸𝐽 and tells him that he is holding Kiri and Tuck hostage. Neytiri, Spider, and 𝐒𝐽 accompany 𝐸𝐽 as he enters the sinking vessel for the final confrontation. In retaliation for Neytiri, Neytiri brutally slaughters 𝐒𝐲�'s crew just as 𝐸𝐽 confronts his foe. 𝐒𝐻𝐻 appears with Kiri and holds a knife to her throat. After 𝐸𝐽 frees Tuck, Spider is grabbed by Neytiri, who in turn threatens his life. After Neytiri cuts Spider across his chest, 𝐒𝐻 lets Kiri go despite his attempts to deny his care and relationship with the boy. Neytiri saves the children, and 𝐸𝐽 decides to end the fight by fighting 𝐒𝐻 to the death. The vessel begins to completely sink, entangling the family underwater. 𝐒𝐻 is fought by 𝐸𝐽 until he puts him in a chokehold and lets him drown. 𝐒𝐽 finds his father, who tells him to leave without him because 𝐸𝐽 doesn't think he'll make it. However, 𝐒𝐽 helps 𝐸𝐽 breathe the way 𝐒𝐲𝐫𝐝 showed him how to, and they get away with 𝐼𝐴𝐻𝐿. In the meantime, Kiri enlists the assistance of the underwater creatures to rescue Tuck and Neytiri. Spider swims to save 𝐒𝐻, but he leaves him for his evil deeds and joins 𝐸𝐽's family, where he is officially adopted by 𝐸𝐽. Tanawari informs 𝐸𝐽 that he and his family are now 𝐒𝐻𝐼𝐻 and are welcome to stay as he prepares to say goodbye. After that, Neytiri's family holds a funeral at which his body is donated to the Tree of Souls, and they learn that he is now living with 𝐼𝐴. Through their connection to the tree, 𝐸𝐽 and Neytiri are able to recall Neytiri's appearance, recognizing this land as the new home of his family. 𝐸𝐽 vows to fight on and defend them.